We have a very highly requested guest on the podcast today.
I'm so excited to be here.
And I'm actually thrilled that I got you so fast.
Oh my gosh, I was like, sign me up. I can't wait to be here.
I don't think I've ever asked somebody on the pod via Instagram story, a public Instagram story.
When I got that, I was like, I'm there.
You were like, is this real?
Yeah, but then the email came a couple days later and it was official and now I'm here.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love asking listeners who they want on the podcast. But your name popped up multiple times and I was like, you know what? I'm obsessed with her too. Let's do this.
I love your podcast. Honestly, it's my favorite ones. So,
oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I like to start the show. Tell us what you have on today.
Okay, so today I am wearing Silver Lake denim.
Which best jeans.
Are great. Yeah.
Underrated.
And I feel like these ones are my favorite from them. Good wash. They're kind of like a skinnier fit. So anyways, go to for these.
Are they a mid-rise, high-rise?
They're
Tell
actually
us.
mid-rise.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll go high-rise, but honestly, I love a mid-rise. So that's the jeans.
I can't function in a high-rise.
See, I can if it's vintage denim.
Yes, where it's like a bit softer.
Okay, Kate jeans I love, and those are high rise.
Okay, let's debunk Kate jeans.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fast.
we can go down that. I knew you would want to, so.
How high-rise are we talking? I have not
We're
tried them on.
talking belly button.
See,
and
like
it's very rigid denim. Like we're talking high-rise, rigid. Can't really sit comfortably.
Who wants that?
They look so good, and because I'm a bit taller, I feel like we're kind of around the same height.
Girl, no.
Oh.
You have perfect height. How tall are you?
I'm 5'7.5", like 5'8".
When Brooke Puth was on the show, we had this conversation too. The 5'7" girlies have it so
I
good
feel like,
in fashion. No, I'm 5'4", but everyone thinks I'm tall.
I was going to say. But the Kate ones are like the perfect length for me to wear like a tiny little mule. So I like it. They're long and they're like a true straight leg. So they're fitted, but then they don't flare, but they're not tight on the.
It's a boot cut.
It's like a boot cut, but not a full boot cut.
Right. Not like a flared boot cut. Yeah. Okay. Great.
So I love those. But these are a great go-to. Then I'm also wearing this Alessandra Rich like sailor top. Love. The best. She's
so good.
I know. So fun. And then Chanel denim shoes.
If I had unlimited summer wardrobe budget.
Everything. The dresses. The
everything
polka dots,
Alessandra Rich.
Yeah.
All of it.
So
just
good.
The cutest dresses.
I know.
For the YouTubers, show us your gorgeous Chanel shoes. They're like an acid wash.
They're an acid wash. They're like kind of a gray denim.
I love those. I've never seen those before.
Yeah, I know. They're fun. We were talking about earlier that the heel height on these Chanel shoes is perfect.
Slingbacks are really hard. And I think the way to make them comfortable is that perfect heel height.
I mean, it's great. I really love it. I can wear them everywhere. Yes.
I'm in these Tory slingbacks.
I know. I love the Tory ones.
Okay, my feet are blue. Weird.
That's a good height too.
Like, this heel height, I can walk around in these all day, and that slingback never bothers me.
Yeah, they look so good. I love those.
I want them in every color.
Yeah,
like truly, people slept on these shoes.
Yeah,
truly, when they came out, people were like, "Those are weird."
And the pointed toe. That's one thing with the Chanel shoes I love, and they're really cute. But I do
forever a rounded toe.
Yeah, and I do love a pointed toe. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had these in like a chocolate brown with a slight pointed toe.
That's not Chanel.
No, it's not Chanel.
Nope.
That's why I need to get them somewhere else. But I do love a pointed toe.
Do you know who makes a good pointed toe right now? Tony Bianco, randomly. Love, right?
Always so good.
Like there's a pointed toe. I think it's called the Cherry Pump. It's like a perfect brown pointed toe. It's not a mule. What would you call it?
Like a
It's like what I'm wearing now, but full closed on the back too.
Oh.
It's like a low pump, a very low pointed toe mule pump.
That's the way to put it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I also think Dolce Vita is coming out with some really good. You need to see this
Wow.
one. There's a pointed toe, little sling back. Actually, the heel height is a little low for me. Like I want it just like a hair higher for it to kind of be like that chic, I don't know, everywhere shoe. But it's actually perfect. You can really do a lot with it.
I love a good like affordable brand shoe brand shout out.
Just under $100 or $100.
Yeah.
And it's really comfortable.
Okay, good to know because I'm always like, okay, if I'm out here trying the Aldos, the Steve Maddens, the Tony Biancos, the Dolce Vitas, like what's the winner of all of them?
Dolce Vita, I think, is doing a great job, but also Tony Bianco. Those
Bianco
are my
for
two
me.
faves, I think.
Yeah, those are always really comfortable, and I think have a very luxury designer inspired fit.
100%.
Yeah, there's always good dupes.
So good.
Yeah.
So that's actually a great shoe.
Good one.
Yeah.
How do you get dressed every day? Like what comes first to you? Are you like, okay, I have this Alessandra Rich top, I want to wear that, or is it chasing a feeling?
So I feel like most of the times I either, one of two ways. I either have kind of a statement piece, maybe like this jacket, and then I build something simple around it, or I'll do a really simple base, like a jeans and a white tee, and then do like a fun belt or a fun shoe or a fun bag. I'm somebody who likes simplicity, but I also really like something fun and funky.
You said something in an interview that I loved where you were like, if you are wearing something simple, all you kind of have to do to look fashionable is throw in something funky.
Right.
Funky blazer, funky shoe, funky bag. Like that's all it really takes.
I love a funky shoe or a funky bag to like mix it up. So when in doubt, if I'm in a rush and in a pinch, I'm like, okay, a good pair of jeans and maybe a button down or maybe a white tee, maybe just a crew neck sweater and then a fun bag or shoe.
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. I don't typically do a fun shoe and bag. Like I keep one fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that is definitely how I get dressed.
It's a good little formula for those days where you've no idea what you would have put on.
Oh my gosh. And a lot of the times, while I love to get dressed, a lot of times I'm not spending that much time thinking about it. I'm like kind of headed out the door.
Right.
So I need something that's kind of a no-brainer.
It's interesting. I think I get dressed for like to chase a feeling.
See, that's amazing. Like what feeling? Like what are the feelings?
Like I woke up today and I was like, okay, I'm doing this podcast. I want to feel really elevated from the top up. Like I want to wear something that feels good.
Yeah.
But I'm also hosting in my house and I just want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll start with this top that I like. And like, I don't want to wear all black. So I'll throw on a white pair of jeans. And then these Tories are kind of like my go-to. But yeah, I really realized that I chase a feeling as I'm getting dressed every day. And I'm like, am I the moodiest person you've ever met at this point? Because every day is something different.
But you know what? That's actually a good way to go about it because I'm like, it really is every day so different. Some days I want to be super comfortable. And what that looks like is different than, I don't know, a day where I'm like, oh, I'll dress up and kind of wear something that's not as comfortable.
That's actually one of the ways I found you. I remember you were doing like what you're wearing to like the most mundane things in life, like going to the market,
errands, grocery store.
So what is your like go-to just every day? You're not wearing this chic as hell Alessandra Rich. Like what does your day look like?
On a typical day, if I'm running errands, walking my dog, it is very much an outfit that can like be very flexible. If I'm going to a workout class, kind of just a good pair of leggings, maybe a cool zip up quarter zip sweatshirt and Solomon's or New Balances. Something I can actually walk my dog in. Like I need something that it's comfortable. I can walk around the block. We need our steps in. So
the fashion girls who have dogs, there's not enough awareness and visibility for us.
And like my dog Susie needs like long walks. I can't just go outside, take her out to the bathroom. Like we're
you're walking.
In. We're walking.
Not even that. The fashion girl is with dogs that shed.
Oh, it's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
Like white jeans, white clothes is hard around.
Well, you have a black lab.
Yeah.
Black lab.
Yeah, black lab, Susie.
Where like the short hair is just on everything.
Everything. Our couch, we got a white couch. Why did we do that? I don't know.
Like now I have like lint rollers everywhere, like in my car here, because if I'm picking friends up, they just know that like maybe there's like a stray, really long white hair from my Australian Shepherd who sheds notoriously everywhere.
It's just, you love your dog so much that I think people who don't have a dog don't get it, but I'm like, of course.
It's
hair
fine.
everywhere. I don't even care.
I don't even care.
I love my dog so much.
I don't care. Yeah. If you love me, you have to love the dog and the hair that comes with it. Yeah. Okay, take me all the way back to the beginning. I want to know how you got your start in fashion.
Okay, so I have always loved fashion. I remember being in sewing classes younger and doing like a neighborhood fashion show. So
cute.
I always, when I was young, wanted to be around clothes, fashion. Didn't really know what that meant until I got my first job at Nordstrom on the sales floor, the flagship Nordstrom of Seattle. So I started selling special occasion dresses, and that's really when it clicked. Not only did I love being around the clothes and interacting with the customer, and I learned so many valuable things being on the sales floor, but I was good at it, and that was fun. And so it was really exciting. I did that for 4 years. I learned so much about the customer and how being customer centric is so important in fashion. I mean, at the end of the day, everything is customer based, you know? But after that, I just knew I had to be in fashion. It was kind of a no-brainer thing. Went to USC in LA and interned a bunch, kind of tried a bunch of different things, dipped my toes in editorial at Who What Wear, did styling for a celebrity stylist, styling intern for Forward, tried a bunch of different things, like kind of everything that came my way. I was like, yes. And then from there, I was on the buying team at Revolve. So I kind of jumped around, but that's really, I guess, the start of fashion into kind of more my recent career.
Okay. So many questions.
Yeah, lots to unpack.
For starters, I feel like you're someone, and I met you with your mom.
Yes.
When we were in Paris, I literally was leaving the hotel and you
Yes.
were there walking with your mom, which I thought was the sweetest
Yes.
thing of all time. Mom, if you're listening, come with me next time.
Yeah.
Is your family in fashion? What were some of your like earliest influences?
It is so funny because nobody in my family is in fashion at all.
Okay.
So my family's very sporty. Athletics was kind of the thing. But I very much was drawn to fashion at an early age. And I just knew I wanted to be in it, around it. And there's not that many fashion opportunities in Seattle. Love Seattle to death, but it's not a very fashionable city. So Nordstrom was the best place to get the hang of things in fashion. And it was a great place to start. And I'm so grateful. I think sales experience is so valuable. And I just loved, you kind of learn so much about the product because you're hands-on selling it, but you also learn what people want and what they're comfortable in. And it's just, it's cool. I loved it.
I think it's so valuable for what you do today.
I mean, today I'm technically a glorified salesperson. I mean, that's what an influencer is. I mean,
truly,
kind of, you know?
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, obviously.
Right.
Full business. But at the same time, there's so much that's kind of similar to that skill set. So
I think to me, at the end of the day, sales is about connection.
Yep.
Like it's about being able to connect with the person.
Knowing your audience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of value in that, in my opinion. What did you study at USC?
So at USC, I studied communications and my minor was in consumer behavior, but there was no fashion major or minor. And to this day, I think they just opened up a fashion minor. But when I was in college, there was no fashion anything besides one class. And there was a fashion club. I was in the class and the club. But my major was communication. And in college, again, I knew I had to be in fashion, so I wanted to do everything I could. But there wasn't that many opportunities. So it started small scale at College Fashionista. I was writing blog posts. That is the reason I got my internship at Who What Wear. And then my internship at Who What Wear opened the doors for Celebrity Stylists. You know, they all built off each other. So I'm grateful for every little thing that I did because I feel like they all built off each other in one way or another. Shout
out to Who What Wear because I actually feel like they have single-handedly kept the fashion industry in LA and carried on its back. Yeah. Because Who What Wear, when I was growing up here and I was in college, which was over 10 years ago, was still the most coveted LA fashion internship that you could get. And I think still is today. It's the biggest, in my mind, biggest fashion publication here in LA. And truly has fostered a new generation of fashion people in LA.
And the Pacific Design Center was such a cool office space to be.
And now look how many people are there.
Yeah. It's
many.
It was such a cool internship. I really loved it. But then that opened doors and then I tried styling and PR and marketing and kind of bopped around really. But I think it really helped to get me where I am today.
I'm really curious to hear your experience here because I feel that I often get questions about navigating the fashion industry in LA. Yes. How to kind of get your foot in the door. And I'm curious if you feel like the major that you studied was helpful in getting yourself there. I mean, obviously now you're saying they have a fashion department.
Yes.
I'm sure I know that they have a great journalism department as well. But I'm curious to hear what you think was most helpful for you in getting your foot in an industry where you didn't grow up in the city. You're new to the whole town, new to connections. What was most helpful for you?
So I did a lot of coffee chats, outreach on LinkedIn. I am not afraid to cold DM somebody, message them. So there was a lot of, hey, your job sounds interesting. I'd love to connect. Or alums of USC that I would say, hey, your job seems really interesting. I'm at USC currently, would love to hear more. And I think while I didn't get any direct jobs from that, they always put me in contact with somebody else or kept in touch. And I think that was really helpful. I also attended, I don't know what the name of the club is now, but I think it was the Fashion Association Club at USC. And they had speakers come. So every time a speaker came, I introduced myself. I think I handed them my resume at the end of it. And actually one of them was a Revolve recruiter, which is ultimately how I landed my Forward internship.
There you
which
go.
Then landed me it was the same recruiter, which landed me my Revolve buying position role.
Fashion is so much about networking.
It is.
Whether in a big way or a small way.
It is 100% networking, connections, putting yourself out there. It's kind of scary, but you just have to do it. And again, I think even College Fashionista, I caught wind of that. It was I think anybody could join and write blog posts. And once I did that and I had something to show for it, then I was able to translate that to Who What Wear. So I think it was all kind of just putting in this initial work an energy towards it. I also think when you really want to get there, you kind of just figure out any way to put your foot in the door. But yeah, a lot of research, reaching out, connecting with people, I think is the most important way.
I think knowing how to pitch yourself is one of the most important skill sets you can have in fashion, but also just as a freelance creative in general. Having a media kit ready to go, knowing exactly what your byline is. To this day, I still send cold emails all the time.
Oh, I send cold DMs all the time.
All day, every day.
I will cold DM somebody and be like, hi, I'm a big fan of the brand. And
I think you and I cold DM'd.
Yeah, cold DMs.
That's literally how it happened.
I am not afraid, and I don't know if that came from my college days where I would just reach out to anybody in fashion I could find. But it's really helped me. It's put me in exciting rooms now, different things. Like, it's really paid off. So that's why I'm not afraid to reach out and cold DM.
So this is how you landed the job at Revolve.
So the job at Revolve was, I met the recruiter at the fashion club. Then I kept in touch and was emailing her. I got an internship at Forward in the styling, which Forward's owned by Revolve.
Yes.
So I was then within the company. Then I graduated pandemic times. So they weren't hiring. They were firing.
Yep.
So that was a bit tricky. And I then kept in touch with the recruiting person, with HR. Finally, when they were ready to hire, I was interviewing a bunch, and then they kind of offered me the job. But it was a lot of keeping in touch. Like, I was reaching out to her every other month before graduation, being like, hey, checking in.
Yep.
So it was a lot of that.
I mean, I don't think there's ever too many hey checking in emails.
No. And especially in the pandemic, she was like, we're literally not hiring. This was like actually April of 2020. And she was like, we're not hiring at all. So I didn't get my job offer until I graduated, technically May of 2020.
Okay.
But it was a virtual graduation. And then I know. But then I got the job offer January of 2021.
Okay.
So in those couple months where I was doing nothing and I just was so excited to have a job but couldn't get one, I started my blog, Styled Sara. So that's really where my current job and career is born out of, was the fact that I had so much free time to start an Instagram and a blog. So, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. Now I have a full job out of it. But yeah, that was kind of the path.
How are you able to navigate balancing the two? You have this full-time job at Revolve, you're on the buying team,
yes,
and then you're also managing content at the same time.
Look, I worked at a fashion company,
right?
So for me, getting dressed every day was not only exciting but also content. I didn't really look at it like that, but I mean, I focused on my job when I was working, but I also was recording my outfits of the day on TikTok and Instagram, and then I just slowly started seeing growth. And it was never the plan to go full-time social media influencer. It always, in a perfect world, honestly, if I could do both, I would have wanted to do both. But it just, I mean, they're two full-time jobs, you know?
Fully.
So you really can't give it your all to both if you're doing both, you know? So that was, it was really fun, honestly, doing both. But when I first started my job, 2021, I put my social media on the back burner. I think at this point I had 100 followers on Instagram. So it was like, you know, people weren't counting on me. It wasn't until like 6 months into my job, I picked it back up and was like, oh, I'm going to share the things that are interesting to me, inspire me. I started posting on TikTok. TikTok grew, Instagram grew alongside, kept posting. It kind of was just like a fun creative outlet back burner thing while I had my job. And I think people liked seeing the inner workings of a girl with a fashion job.
100%.
People were interested in, what does a buyer do? What's market? I went to market. I was posting my market appointments, you know? So I think that also was something that people were interested in. I loved sharing, and it just kind of worked, and it was so fun. But yeah, social media was always back burner when I was full-time at my job.
I love following people who have full-time jobs at the same time.
Same.
I cannot pronounce her name, but there is an influencer who I love to follow. I can't call her an influencer. She's a dentist. And
I don't think I've seen her.
She also creates beautiful content.
Love.
But she has the chicest style ever. And then like you'll go on her TikTok and she'll be like, a day in my life as a dentist. You'll see her like fully in scrubs doing dentistry.
It's wild.
And then going home and changing into like Saint Laurent.
No, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I applaud everybody. I mean, yeah, I did it for really 2.5 years was when I was posting consistently and working, because the first 6 months of my job, I was just getting the hang of the job. I wasn't really posting. But yeah, it's a lot. I really feel lucky. I enjoy content so much, like curating content, styling content. So for me, it's always been so fun. That's why doing both never felt crazy. But I was saying no. By the time like year 3 rolled around, I was saying no to a lot of opportunities via social media, whether it was traveling or events, that I just, felt like it was time to take that leap and try it on my own and be like, okay, if I dedicate all my time to myself as an entrepreneur, as a business, what does that look like? So I'm just under a year of taking it full time.
What was day one like?
Day one was crazy. I mean, because I'd been in a 9 to 6 job for 3 years, and that's what I was used to, and having a team and like logging in and having people there. And then day one, it was very much like, okay, I'm on my own. What does my new structure look like? What does my new day-to-day? This is a job. This is a business. How does that look? Even the first 2 months, I remember telling friends and family, I was like, oh, I'm going to search for a job. I quit late April of last year, and I remember saying, oh, I'm gonna find a job in October back in fashion. I was like, I already have it lined up. I'm going to take my summer, have fun with my content, and then I'll find another job again. And funny enough, like August, September rolled around. I was busier than ever. And it all kind of just fell into place. I was worried, transparently, I was worried I wasn't going to be fulfilled being my own boss and kind of doing that, not being a part of a team. And it has been way more fulfilling than I could have ever imagined. I was a little afraid I wasn't going to have as many. I think back then I was a little afraid I wasn't going to be as creative as I am. But now that's the best part, and something I'm more creative now. I'm working on creative projects. There's things happening behind the scenes that aren't even shown on social media that are awesome. I think also just running a business, you're seeing all aspects of it, and that's challenging but really fun. So I'm far more fulfilled, and it's been such a rewarding process. But the first, I want to say 2 months, I was like, oh, the days are quiet. Like it felt slow at the beginning.
And then you get into a routine. I remember the first time I saw you, you were wearing, I cannot pronounce this brand.
I think I know what you're going to say.
You were getting ready to go to a wedding.
Yes.
And you were wearing this dress that was half maroon, half pink. And you had the gorgeous Heaven Mayhem matching earrings.
Yes.
How do we say it? Nafsika Scorti?
Yeah. So I actually was I was in Miami for work with Revolve at the time. I was on the buyer, and I was going to the Latin American Fashion Summit, and they had a gala. So that was my gala outfit. Okay. And I remember ordering it the night before I left. Like, it arrived the night before I left to Miami. And I don't even think I tried it on. I just packed in my bag. I had a backup option that was a sparkly, like, Love Shack fancy dress, actually. Because a gala, I was like, oh, I want to go do something kind of crazy. Of course. Especially in a room full of fashion people. So then when I got to Miami, I tried that on, threw my hair in a bun, and wore the earrings, and it really worked out. One of my favorite outfits to this day.
One that lives rent-free in my mind, for sure. And I remember it was the first time I was introduced to you. I remember that video going viral. Yes. It was shared a million times. People were like, what is this dress?
Yes.
And I remember seeing it on Revolve and being like, okay, someone needs to wear this. This is a fab dress.
And I love that it was two-tone. The burgundy and light pink really
You and I love a color combo.
I love a color combo. Love our color block.
Right.
And I loved that it looked like a bustier top with a skirt. And so it was a bunch of elements coming together that was so fun and cool, and still one of my favorite outfits. But yeah, I mean, virality, that dress, I reposted that video recently because it was in my drafts before the TikTok ban. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna post this
just as a bye, guys.
Yeah, literally. And it went viral again. So I mean, people love that dress.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Color combos really quick. What color combo are you loving right now for spring?
Okay, so I love like a mint green. Love a mint green. I love a butter yellow. Yep. With like a cream. I think it's so cool.
I actually like a mint green with butter yellow.
Same. Yeah. Love. I think you can kind of mix anything. I actually love butter yellow and chocolate brown. People think it looks like a banana, but I'm like, it's so fun. They complement each other.
It goes really well with your hair too.
It works. It's fun. What else? I do love a burgundy and a pink.
Yep. So good. Love that outfit that you wore.
Love that. I think a coral and like a orange go well together. So an orange and more of like a reddy orange. Does that make sense?
I was like, coral is orange.
Yeah, but you know, like a more of a
yes, like a pinkier one. Yeah.
And then like a true tangerine.
That's fun. I love that. I actually feel like most color combos are like stark difference.
And that's kind of similar, but they really complement each other.
Fun. I'm going to give that a try.
Yeah.
I'm into like a bright blue right now with a butter yellow.
I think blue is having a moment for sure.
For sure. We had like ice blue at the beginning of the year, but now I want like true bright cerulean blue.
Yes, love cerulean.
So fun.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Back to this incredible dress moment. Is there something in your life that you think has been most helpful in refining your taste?
That is a great question. I always say this. I have a different style than I do 2 years ago than I did 4 years ago, than I did even a couple months ago. While it's all the same and I think I stick by the same vibe, I know this is going to crack open a can of worms, but I think if I got married 3 years ago, I would have chosen a different dress vibe venue than I would do today. And I think it's all based on taste and just I continuously like refine my style, refine who I am. And I feel more confident and comfortable with my style, taste, everything with each day. So
I love that answer.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Like I look at my style 3 years ago and it feels like a completely different person.
And not in a bad way. Like
no.
I think I still look back and I'm like, oh, I love these choices and things. And I still keep I constantly am trying to refresh my closet by donating things and getting rid of things. But for the most part, I'm like reusing same things and re-wearing all the same things I had even 5 years ago. Like I have so many pieces that still feel very me. But I think for the most part, I'm just constantly kind of refreshing and refining my style. And I feel just more confident and sure about my style each and every day.
Fashion to me runs parallel with life.
Yeah,
like
totally.
And
the
it's
stage
about
of life, everything.
100%. And it's about building blocks. Like I think about what I wore 3 years ago and I definitely wouldn't wear a lot of what I was wearing 3 years ago, but they gave me the chance to figure out what I want to be wearing now. Like
totally.
I think it's a lot about trial and error. Like you have to continue to try things and be okay to let go of your old style to find what is new for you.
Tell me your take on trends and styling and style evolution, because 3 years ago I was a lot more into following trends. Now, it's not that I don't now, but I was a lot more willing to jump on board with any trend that came my way 3 years ago. And now I'm like, okay, I understand it. I love it. I get it, but I don't need to be a part of it. Or I can in a way that's already in my closet.
I think trends are really helpful if you are trying to find your style.
Yes.
You're someone who is really established and I know what you like to wear and you know what you like to wear and you have a sense of your personal style.
Yes.
I remember when I was younger and still trying to figure it out, trends opened up a window for me to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like.
And same, likewise. Like I think only now am I feeling comfortable to kind of see the trends, acknowledge them, respect them. And I'm not talking trends like a chocolate brown and a butter yellow. Like to me, jump on board, love it. But a trend like, I can't even think of a good example, but maybe bow everything. I love a bow. I grew up wearing bows. But do I need to buy a bow shirt and a bow skirt and like lean heavy into that trend? Not necessarily. I think I find ways to make trends work for me.
Yes.
Where 3 years ago or 2 years ago even, I think I was a lot more willing to just jump on board with what everyone was wearing and go deep into that trend.
Now I look at trends, I can see them and analyze like what way the industry is going, but I'm definitely not buying into it. Yep. I'm either going in my closet and saying, okay, this trend is happening right now. Is there something in my closet that I love that I already wear all the time that alludes to the trend? And that's like the fun part of fashion for me. Like I love trends for fun. It's not something that I'm like basing my wardrobe around. But yeah, I mean, 5 years ago I'd buy it. Now I'm like, I'm okay. It's going to be, it might go away in a few months.
And even as of recent, I designed a capsule collection, which was so fun. But even I think 2 or 3 years ago, it would have been really daunting to say, okay, here, 10 pieces, even though I knew my style then and I was in a field where I was making creative decisions on the buying team. But I think I'm so like confident and comfortable now with what's lacking in my closet. What's an area that I gravitate towards all the time? What are details I want to see and stuff? So for me, that process now was so fun and interesting and easy. It just comes naturally. Like honestly, I just went into that room and was like, these are the pieces I want to see in my closet. Whereas a couple years ago, I think it would have been a lot more, maybe a lot less cohesive than I feel it is now, if that makes sense.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
You're someone who has a very elevated sense of style.
Thank
and I'm
you.
curious for you, while you're shopping, are there pieces that you gravitate towards that help everyday looks feel really elevated? Maybe it's accessories. What are you leaning towards?
I am an emotional shopper, I will say. So in terms of if I go into a store and I'm like, I can't live without that, that is the coolest, most unique piece, I will not think about it. I'm like, I know where it fits in my closet and I know I will wear it. If I have that emotional feeling, I'm like, have to have it. Can't live without it. But for the most part, it's always a really unique, funky piece is like what I'm buying in the moments, those moments. Otherwise, it's a pair of jeans that fits perfectly. Okay, I can't live without that. But for the most part, I feel like when I go shopping, it really is like a window shopping. I feel like every purchase I make now feels very intentional.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was never, I don't want to say never, but that wasn't always the case. And now it's because I feel like chronically online now.
Yeah.
I see what's out there. I'm constantly searching the sites, also seeing what's out there. So I feel like when I do find something special, I'm like, okay, I haven't seen this before. And yeah, it's a need.
You know its place.
Yeah. But I feel like you're somebody who thinks about your purchases.
Oh my God, girl.
I feel like I know that about you.
I'm a notorious closet clean out girl.
Yes. Which is amazing. That's great.
For someone who's in fashion, I don't like stuff.
Yeah.
Like I go to bed at night thinking about what's in every drawer of this house.
Yes.
And if it's essential or not. So I clean out my closet a lot. I like to be using what I have. And if I'm not using it, I give it a new home. But my process is like as I'm cleaning out and I'm getting dressed every day, I have a list going of all the things that I need that will make outfits look better.
Same.
So like, oh, you need a chocolate brown boot. You don't have one.
Same.
So I have a list of things, and as I'm shopping out in the world, I'm the opposite of an emotional shopper. If I was, it would be dangerous. But I'm someone who, like, if I'm in the Chanel store and I see a bag I love, I'm like, okay, am I about to spend on this bag, or do I need to address the list?
Yes. You know what?
It's chaos. It's really chaotic.
But you know what? That's great. Also, too, I think, well, in terms of the list, that's very smart. I do the same. I have a hard time buying, quote unquote, boring purchases. So
yeah, that makes
Capsule
sense.
wardrobe stuff. If it's a jean that fits perfectly, love. I will spend the money. If it's a white button down tee or like a white button down that I know I need, there's ways I could style it. I don't want to buy it. I'm like, oh, this is not fun money to spend, but I'll wear it.
I totally get it.
So for me, that's like kind of where it comes in of shopping is there's certain things it's not fun, where the emotional pieces are so much more fun for me.
Yep.
But I think the list is very smart. I also kind of try to do this rule where if I bring something into my closet, I'll take one piece out.
Have to.
You have to because
If not, you're gonna overflow.
Yes, and it just if you bring something in, it's because you love it and you want it right now, and there's other pieces that you probably have outgrown.
Yep.
So I always remind myself that, and that I also am not a hoarder, but I'm like I want to keep special pieces, but then my closet can't just be all special pieces, you know? I need the jeans that fit really well, the white tees that go with everything. So I feel like I have definitely like a very middle ground mix of everything going on.
I think having a really good assortment of amazing tops is the key to having cool style.
Yes.
I can have my blue jeans and a pair of sandals, but if I'm wearing a cool top like this,
it makes the outfit.
I feel so great. Even I'm looking at you right now. You're wearing this amazing Alessandra Rich top and jeans and a cool top.
Yeah.
Like I really think that
or fun jeans and a simple top.
Yep, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Right now, though, I'm focused on the cool tops.
Yeah.
I'm like investing in the tops in my wardrobe because I have all my colored jeans and a great pair of black trousers. But for kind of effortless dressing every day that feels really elevated, I've noticed that I just look and feel really good if I'm wearing a simple pant with an epic top.
Yep. And I think that's a great way to like look at getting dressed too. Just find the pieces that are fun and then do simple
and easy.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like mental math every day when you're getting ready. Yeah.
No.
I completely
It's an easy way to get dressed.
Yeah. Speaking of shopping, you are like prolific at a good real find. How do you sift? Tell us what, especially now with all these tariffs, I actually think secondhand shopping is going to be it.
Oh.
Tell us how to sift the real.
So the real, here's my hack. It's nothing crazy. It's sifting. There's an option on the app or the website or whatever you're shopping on to sort by editor's picks. I only ever look through editor's picks. Occasionally, if I know I really want to find something truly vintage, you can also search editor's picks and vintage. Otherwise, I'll just do editor's picks. I don't know who's on the back end of that at the Real, but they do a great job.
Great job.
They always find unique pieces, and Real sometimes with the pricing, I have a bone to pick. Like sometimes it feels a little outrageous.
Yes.
But for the most part, I have found so many fun special pieces that feel very unique. and are not crazy priced. Like I actually just bought this editor's pick on Real, this YSL like burnt orange turtleneck long sleeve dress.
You're in the burnt orange world right now. Yeah, it looks really good on you.
I love an orange, but it's so pretty. And I want to say it's like half off retail price, and it still has the tags on it. And it was an editor's pick, and it fits well. I don't have an occasion to wear it right now, but I know something will come up. It's beautiful. It's like a turtleneck, but kind of sheer. So anyways, editor's picks. That's how I search.
I am not someone who will look at a dress and be like, I don't have an occasion to wear that too. I'm buying the dress.
Same. Like
the occasion will find you.
100%. But then I end up with dresses in my
everywhere. I'm a gown. Okay. If I'm a hoarder of anything,
it's gowns.
It's gowns.
Interesting. Did not know this about you.
It's bananas. And
but you know what? That's the best thing, because I feel like when you're in a pinch and you need a gown, why is it that when you need something, you can never find it? So it's good to have good options in your closet for when you need it.
Yeah, but then I'm going to that fashion trust thing tonight, and I pulled a dress. Like, why am I not wearing from the gowns that I bought?
Because you probably look at them all the time, and you're like, okay, I'm over it.
You pass them down, like you wear them to the most special moments in life.
I was going to say the most special moments, occasion-based.
Yep, but I'm someone who will go on the Real, and I'm like, oh, this gorgeous Alberta Ferretti gown from the 90s. Totally.
So that's how I am. I'm like, okay, also there's one of one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more in the world, but like
the occasion will find me.
Yeah.
I was in Paris not this past season, the one before, and I went into one of my favorite vintage stores there, and they had this brown sequin Chloe dress from the 90s.
It was an immediate purchase.
A little bit above the knee, halter.
Love.
And not just brown, like tortoise sequins.
Love.
And I'm like, where am I wearing this to? I have no idea, but I bought it. And I turned it into mini. And no, it's like, it's perfect for if I'm ever like in Miami going to a birthday or something like that. It's very beachy.
Love.
Yeah. You need
it's
a
good
little
to have
bit of
those.
beach vibes.
Yeah.
You mentioned before your Few Moda collab.
Yes.
It's out now. How was the process of putting it together? Tell us what are some things that we should 100% be buying from it.
Okay, so
is it sold out? No.
We after the weekend, so it was live for 2 days.
Okay.
70% sell through. So
wow, congratulations.
Pretty exciting.
That's very exciting.
Right now there's broken sizing, I will say, so if you want to shop it,
you should be proud.
I was
very excited.
I was very happy with the outcome. Like each piece felt very high quality and elevated and very me, which was the most important.
Yep.
But I would say my favorite is, which would look really good on you, I need to give it to you. It's this white suit set. And it's
I saw you wearing it.
Yeah, it's like
so
the blazer
cute.
with little shorts. And I feel like the shorts are a nice length. They're not too short, because I don't like when shorts are too short, you know? Like I love a micro short, but sometimes that's not what I'm going for. And so these are like kind of the perfect like longer but still mini short. And then the blazer's adorable and fits well.
Criminal take. I don't like a short. I don't love a hot pant.
See, I love a hot pant, but it's so specific for me. Like
you're wearing that with a big blazer in Miami.
Right.
That's it.
It's so specific. Right. Yep. And that's why these shorts, I was like, okay, I don't want it to. Also, a micro short isn't for everyone. In fact, it's for very few. So I was like, okay, a short, I want everyone to wear it. I want to be able to wear it with like a sweater and go out to dinner and not be like, okay, it's inappropriate. Yeah. So that is probably my favorite.
Love that.
Yeah. But the process was really fun. The team was great. They let me do kind of whatever I wanted. We kept it like a small little capsule collection. I think it's 11 pieces, but like 9 full outfits, because some of them are sets, or maybe even 8 full outfits. But they really let me have at it. And
love that.
It was really fun. It was just a fun process. My first time doing that. I'd stepped into designing a little bit in my buying days, because brands, well, maybe not designing so much. Sometimes we would do exclusives where I would design something for the brand for Revolve, but a lot of times,
very cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it was like tweaking something, which I really got to know what works and what doesn't. So it was like, okay, the sleeve is slightly too long, let's shorten that. Or the skirt is slightly too long, which also can be awkward when a skirt is like supposed to be a mini, but it reads as like, I don't know, mid-thigh. So I learned a lot of like small fit things that I feel like are valuable now. And so it was really fun to design something from the ground up.
I love closing this episode on the fact that everything comes full circle, just like you said. Like all of those experiences will play a role
100%
in your career long term.
100%. It all fashion. So so connected.
I
so
love that.
It's amazing.
Okay, well guys, if you want to shop it, it's linked in the description of this episode.
Thank you.
So excited for you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
This was so fun.
So much
fun. We could have chatted for hours.
I literally could have kept going, but I'm being conscious of your time.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm so happy to have you on and to also get to know more about you. It was so fun.
So fun. Thank you.
Of course.